Hi guys! So a couple of months ago, I made a community post saying that I would be making like an Undertale Family Feud game show video, and I linked a Google form that had like questions in it for that video. Basically, that video is never coming out. At first, it looked like it was going really well. I got over 100 responses to the survey. I assembled a group of 6 friends to participate. I recorded the video, and it actually went super well, but I made a mistake with OBS, and the whole time none of the audio got recorded. So yeah, the video won't come out. However, I still got over 100 responses to the survey, and I made like a whole slideshow, like in the Family Feud style for the game. So I thought I might as well just show that off in a video in case anybody's interested in the results, or maybe if you want to play the game with your friends. In that case, I've left a link in the description for a copy of the slides for you guys to use. So the rest of this video is just going to be me like going over the results and like unscriptedly yapping about them. So if you are interested in that, then watch the rest. If you just want to see them and like don't want to hear me, then just go to the description. Okay. So before I go over the questions, I should probably like say who was in the video, because it was actually a really stacked lineup, I think. On one team, there was Brix, Penguin Powerful, and Trondor. And on another team, there was Lily Patent Pending, NatalieRK, and Hazel or Haze Soul. So yeah, they were super fun to play with. You'll probably know some of them if you're active in the like deltarune theorist community. Some of them make videos. I'll leave all of their like links and things in the description. Okay, so on to the first question. The first question is, what is the best Undertale/Deltarune fan work? At number 8 is... Okay, so this is very reflective of the places that I sent this survey, because it wasn't just on my community post. I sent it in like a ton of different Discord servers. That's like the main way I got responses. And one of the bigger places was the Andrew Cunningham Discord server. And you know, this is the fanfic that Andrew made on stream. I kind of get why it's at number 8. It is actually really good. Then at number 7 is Paper Trail. I didn't really expect this. Paper Trail is like... I don't hear that many people talking about it like after Chapter 2 was released, but it is really good. It definitely deserves to be up here. Then at number 6 is Chris Performs Surgery. I don't really know what Chris Performs Surgery is. I've heard some people talk about it, but I've never read it. I'm interested in it. That's a very interesting name, and it got up here, so just gotta have some merits. At number 5 is like Vision Cruise Deltarune stuff. I'm not super into that. I know that there are a lot of songs, but I'm not really sure what else there is, to be honest. I feel like I should know this because like I'm kind of involved in the like Deltarune future chapter take world, but like I don't know the most popular fan work in that world, so yeah. At number 4 is TS Underswap. Yeah, I can see why. It's really good. At number 3 is Inverted Fate. Yeah, it definitely deserves to be up here. It has like a super big fan base for a reason. And at number 2 is Underverse. I didn't expect this either. It definitely has like a really big fan base, but I didn't know that like the people that were responding to this survey would like it that much. But I'm happy. Underverse is like, I really like Underverse. Then at number 1 is Undertale Yellow. This makes sense. Undertale Yellow had just come out when I put the survey out. It's really good. Yeah. The next question was just name an Undertale alternate universe. Okay, so at number 8 was Inktail, or like Inksands' origin AU. I didn't really expect this, just because Inksands is obviously like a super popular character, but his AU, people don't really talk about it. It doesn't really have a fan base. It's more like just him that has the fan base. At number 7 is Outertale. Outertale is very popular, it's really cool. Number 6 is Story Shift. Yeah, I also get this. Story Shift, like the comic itself and the reboot on AO3, those on their own aren't that popular, but like the fan art, the concepts, like the character stuff, that's all super popular and like widespread. Then at number 5 is Helptale. I've never watched or read Helptale. I'm not sure if it's something that you'd watch or read, to be honest. At 4 is Deltarune. At number 3 is Inverted Fate, again. Okay, yeah. At number 2 and number 1 are Underfell and Underswap. Yeah, that makes sense. They're like the most popular AUs. Next question was, which Undertale or Deltarune character would you most want to date? This was an interesting question. At number 8 is Muffet. Honestly, that is kind of expected. I think especially with like Merg being very vocal about how much he likes Muffet, that probably like made Muffet supporters more loud, I guess. At number 7 is Metaton. Yeah, that makes sense. At number 6 is Queen. I didn't really expect this. At number 5 is Sans. That makes sense. Like, he has like 1 million X readers on AO3 for a reason. I get why Sans is at number 4. No, he's at number 5, I mean. At number 4 is Alphys. I did not expect Alphys to get like 10%. And that's not like an insult to Alphys. I really like Alphys as a character, but I usually don't hear people talking about like how much they want to date her. I usually hear people talking about like Undyne more like that. Then at number 3 is Gaster. Then at number 2 is Noelle. I really didn't expect this. At number 1 is Papyrus. This was also kind of unexpected, but it also makes sense. Like, he's the character that you can date in the game. So yeah. Then the next question is, what is the best song in the Undertale or Deltarune soundtrack? At number 8 is Death by Glamour. Yep, that's super deserved. Death by Glamour is amazing. At number 7 is Battle Against a True Hero. I'm happy about that. Battle Against a True Hero, it's an amazing song. At number 6 is Finale. I didn't expect it to get this high. Usually it's like overshadowed by like all the other final boss themes like Hopes and Dreams and Megalovania. But I really like it. I think it might be my favorite of like the final boss themes. Then at number 5 is Big Shot. This is the only Deltarune song for this question. I guess I don't love Big Shot as much as like most people do. I would have put like a lot of other Deltarune songs above it, but it's super popular. I get why it's up here. Then at number 4 is Megalovania, not at number 1. That makes sense. Megalovania is very popular, but like Undertale fans don't think of it as the best song from Undertale. So at number 3 is Asgore. I really love Asgore. I'm really happy that it's at number 3, above like all the other big boss themes. Then at number 2 is Hopes and Dreams. Okay, so I guess Asgore wasn't above all the other boss themes. Yeah, that makes sense. And it's associated with Asriel, one of the best characters, so yeah. Then at number 1 is Undertale. That makes sense. It's like the title track. It's one of the most emotional scenes in the game. There was a very funny moment during like the recording of the Family Feud where Brix was convinced that at either number 1, number 2, or number 8 would be Long Elevator because he thought that like the people who answered the survey would be massive trolls. I am so glad that Long Elevator isn't up here. I don't think a single person put Long Elevator in the answer to this question. I'm so glad that there are like very few trolls. There were some that put like outrageous answers, but like they didn't put Long Elevator. I'm glad about that. Next question. This one was, who is the most relatable Undertale or Deltarune character? So at number 8 is Kara. I didn't expect Kara to get this high, but I get it. Especially when I was younger, I did honestly like relate to Kara. I'm not sure if relate is the right word. It's more like I took inspiration from the Kara that appeared in the game, wrapped them in like 1 million layers of headcanons and theories, and then I related to that character that I created in my mind. They're like my imaginary friend, kind of. And that maybe that's a bit oversharey. I don't know. At number 7 is Noelle. At number 6 is Sans. I didn't expect this. I'm not sure if it's specifically like that he's lazy or that he's depressed, if that's like the thing. I don't know, that probably doesn't sound good, but like those are the things that come to mind that would like make him relatable. But it could also just be that he's like, a silly guy and the people who responded to this are silly guys. I don't know. Number 5 is Napstablook.
Oh my god, I don't know that I've ever related to a fictional character this much.
Yeah, I can see why Napstablook is at number 5. At number 4 is Birdly. It's cool that there are some people that like don't completely hate Birdly, because I don't think he like deserves his horrible reputation among like some of the fandom. At number 3 is Burger Pants. He's a fast food worker. He says like never interact with attractive people. Yeah, I can see why Burger Pants is there. And number 2 is Alphys. I really get this. Alphys is one of the characters whose struggle is most like relatable and applicable to like people playing Undertale. Alphys' like character arc of like learning to accept herself and not define herself by her worst mistakes, I think is something that like a lot of people that played Undertale needed to see. Then at number 1 is Chris. Chris is like if Kara from before was like actually a fleshed out character. That's not to say Kara isn't fleshed out. They're like I'm not going to get into that. Also, the whole thing of like them being possessed by the player. Obviously, nobody in real life can relate to that, but the general feeling of like losing control of your body, I feel like that's something that people can apply to other things and like relate to in a different way. So yeah. This next question was a little weird. It was which Undertale or Deltarune character would make the best fast food employee. I think this might have been a bit of a mistake because there's an obvious answer in Burger Pants or Pizza Pants, who is at number 1. He got almost 50%. So yeah, I didn't think of him as like the best fast food employee. He's just a fast food employee, and I thought that like some other character would get the best, but yeah. At number 8 is QC. That makes sense. QC owns a restaurant. At number 7 is Gaster. This is an interesting one. He does seem to be very polite from his like tweets. He'd probably have like good server etiquette. At number 6 is Asgore. You know, it's a similar thing with Asgore. He's like very polite and he has a lot of hospitality. For Asgore, it depends what he's doing. I feel like if he was like flipping burgers, I don't think he'd be great at that. If it's like a social thing, like at the checkout or like serving people things, I think he'd be good at that. At number 5 is Grillby. This also makes sense. You know, he owns a restaurant. At number 4 is Rouse. Yeah, I get that. Rouse is very kind. He has like very developed manners, you know. Number 3 is Papyrus. This would be really funny. I don't know if he'd actually be a great fast food employee, but I really want to see him as one. At number 2 is Sans. I don't really get this. Is it just because Sans has like a million jobs? I guess I think of him as like, he'd be like Burger Pants and be slacking off a lot or like falling asleep on the job. I don't know. Maybe he would. Okay, so the next question was just name a YouTuber that makes Deltarune videos. At number 8 is Penguin Powerful. That makes sense. They reposted my survey, so like a lot of people would think of them first. At number 7 is Molly Stars. Her like hour-long theory videos have been massively popular. She's just like a really good creator. Number 6 is Sybil's GD. Yeah, that also makes sense. She's been like making just like a bunch of videos that have a lot of mass appeal, like the Undertale meme videos and like short, concise videos that are like explaining popular theories and stuff like that. One question I do have is like, does the GD at the end of her name stand for Geometry Dash? Like, did she used to be a Geometry Dash player? Anyways. And number 5 is Merg. This makes sense. You know, Merg is like kind of the face of Undertale, Deltarune, YouTube, and fan games and stuff. At number 4 is Andrew Cunningham. That also makes sense. I sent it in his server. Yeah. At number 3 is Jaru Jaru. You know, Jaru Jaru definitely, his reputation precedes him. He has a lot of like super popular videos. Yeah, I see why he's at number 3. Then at number 2 is Shay. That also makes sense. You know, super popular videos, like big reputation. And at number 1 is Half-Bred Chaos. This also makes sense. You know, amazing videos, really wide range of topics covered, plunging the deepest secrets of Deltarune. And also did the whole Twitch chat plays Undertale thing, which was super fun. The last question is a pretty juicy one. Who do you think is the knight in Deltarune? The answers to this were interesting. At number 8 is the Vessel. And then something I super didn't expect was Chris at number 7 with 7%. I think of that as the most popular knight candidate just because when most people play Chapter 2, immediately like after they see the ending scene, the conclusion they jump to is like, oh my god, Chris is the knight. And that's what I thought at first, you know. It's like a logical conclusion after seeing the ending scene. But them being this low is like unexpected and also very reflective of the places I sent this survey. A lot of them are super into Deltarune secrets and are like super into the theory crafting stuff. They've seen all the videos that are like disproving Chris Knight. Then at number 6 is a new character. I don't think it'll be a new character, to be honest, but I get why people would think that. And then at number 5 is Gaster. Gaster is like the oldest knight candidate. Like in Chapter 1, from what I remember, Gaster was the only knight candidate that anybody talked about. Then at number 4 is Des. This also makes sense, especially like post Chapter 2 with like Des being a super mysterious character. It makes sense for Des Knight to be like popular. Number 3 is Father Alvin. I really like this one. Obviously there's like the whole debate over him not having a talk sprite and whether or not he's an important enough character to have such an important role. So yeah, I didn't expect the theory to be this popular, like it would be all the way above Chris and Des, but I guess in that same vein, Papyrus is at number 2, and Papyrus Night is a theory that has a lot of diehard fans, but it's not super popular. There are a few videos that are like supporting it, but when I'm talking to random people that aren't like super deep in the theory space about deltarune, I don't think I've heard any of them talk about Papyrus Night. It's mostly like Chris Knight or new character. In a similar vein is the mayor at number 1. I really didn't expect the mayor to be this high. I also really like that as a knight choice, but I don't hear people talking about her the way I hear people talking about Death Knight or even Father Alvin. Because the people who responded to this survey were very like into like deltarune secrets and all that, and they're super deep in the theory space, these 2 knight candidates got really high and Chris got like down here. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. Okay, so yeah, those are the Family Feud results. The formula of this was heavily inspired by Schwabity and his Family Feud games. He has a really funny anime Family Feud. If you're into like anime and game shows, you should watch it. It's super funny. So yeah, I hope the results were interesting. I hope me talking about them wasn't too boring. And tell me if you've like played the game with anybody. I don't know if anybody will, but like that would be cool if somebody did. And like somebody actually got use out of these. Bye bye.